Welcome to the Author Helpers You Should Be Writing with your hosts, John P. Logston and Ben Zackheim.
Sorry. Oh. You look so happy to be here. This is episode 19. Ben's not really going to talk about anything today.
Not really. I'm in the red light district. I have to keep on the down low.
Okay, and then we're starting out well already. So Ben, I obviously know what you're doing tonight, but what have you been doing today?
Well, since yesterday, the previous episode, I was on Amtrak all day. Did a little bit of writing. Coming down to the city. I'm in New York right now, getting ready to teach my class. Actually, I also spent an hour. We'll put this in the notes, but I spent an hour on Hootsuite Academy videos or something.
Okay.
On Prelude, it's one of those online, education thingies, and these are they're free. It's really simple to sign up for them. There's like 8 of them, and they're basics of social media stuff, like how to get back into social media, how to keep it fresh. Some of the kind of the essentials, the fundamentals, and some of them have changed since last I reviewed them. So it's a really good course, and I'll put the link in the notes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good. So you
very
did,
useful.
You
That's
did
all I got.
something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
I surprised you.
Yeah. I was not expecting anything.
No, that's
except for the
common for
especially not the red light district concept.
Yeah,
which is
it's my parents' apartment, so
that makes it better, Ben. So that makes it better.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, basically we're talking tonight then about this thing called the Tripwire page, which I know we did a long time ago in our old series thing that Ben wanted to change out for some reason. Anyway, and
we're actually at episode 42. Not 19.
You can't let it go.
All right.
You just can't let it go. All
Uh-huh.
right. So anyway, this thing called a Tripwire page, most people, when they first hear about that, they're like, who? And so I'm going to explain what it is. I'm also going to try to show an image of it. If it doesn't actually work in the share with the way that we have things set up, then I'll set an image. And I'm also going to go ahead and put the URL, on the YouTube, so you can just go directly there and see it. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about what it is, how it works, and so on. So the idea is that when a person comes to sign up to your newsletter, they have to go through a certain series of steps. I use MailChimp, so I'm going to go with what happens in my world, but I'm assuming it's similar with a lot of other services. Basically, you have what's called a double opt-in that you have to go through. So essentially, you sign up, and then an email gets sent to you that says, are you sure you want to do this? And so you say, I do, and then you move on to the next step. And that's basically, it's kind of a double whammy, because what they're doing is they're verifying that it's actually your email address. So I can't just go there and sign up with your email address to my account, and then everybody's signing everybody else's emails up, and they're going, I didn't sign up for this. What is this crap?
Yeah.
You actually have to say, yes, I did. And so it's a good idea, and it's pretty much standard practice. So I'm assuming it's more than just through MailChimp. So basically, the process again is you see an ad, let's say on Facebook. You click it, you come to my page where it says, click here to get your free books. I'm offering free books. You click on that, it says, give me your email address and I'll send you the free books. So you type in your email address. It says, go check your email. And so you do, and you get like a little email that comes in that says, hey, did you sign up for this thing? Confirm your subscription kind of a deal, or just ignore this email. So if you say yes, confirm, at that point, a lot of things can happen. You could take the person directly to getting your books. You could take them to just a thank you page. Your books will be with you soon. You could, just send them an email, and it just takes them to a standard page on MailChimp or whatever, and so on. But there's a better way to do this. Is if you have something of value that you can offer. That's the other kind of caveat here. Now, some people, have tried this with individual books, and I don't know how well that's actually done for people, but typically it's for book bundles, because you're trying to give a deal to somebody. Now, this is a deal that's available to everybody on Amazon, but it feels more like it's something that a person is getting for signing up for your newsletter. So basically, I have a 10-book bundle. And
Can I
so,
just stop you just for 1 second, John? Because I just
yeah,
want to make sure we're not kind of gliding over the important part,
sure.
which is and I just want to verify this. The email that is sent out to verify that they want to be the double opt-in, right?
Mm-hmm.
To verify that you want to be on this list, and they click that button, and now they're taken to a page, and this is the page we're talking about. From
Yes.
their email, they've clicked yes, I verify. Their web browser opens up, a tab opens up, and it presents this page, this Tripwire page that we're talking about.
Yes. Now,
Okay.
technically, what's happening is this: when you click, I agree, I want to do this thing. What it does is it goes back to the Mailchimp server or whatever you're using, and Mailchimp says, okay, this person did this. What am I supposed to do? And it has two things that it's supposed to do, assuming you set it up properly. The first thing it does is forwards you to a page that you told it to do, which is my Tripwire page. The second thing is send the person an email, a final email, right? So they're getting two things that are happening here. For the user, they don't obviously see the fire off of the email part. They just see that, boom, I got sent to a page, okay? You don't have to do that, but this is what I'm saying. You should do that. If you have a book bundle, if you have something to offer for this, it's also, even if you don't have something to offer and you can't necessarily make some money off of this, it's still a decent idea to give them something like maybe we talked about last night. You have like a little book series. Hey, here's a couple of extra books for you for free, kind of a deal. Just a goodwill thing. But if you do have a book bundle, this is a great tool. So what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to try to share this. Let's see if this works or not. We always have some funny issues here. So sharing a window, and tell me if you see this, Ben. Maybe.
Yeah, I do. Oh my God, it actually worked.
Holy moly. Okay, so basically this is the Tripwire page and what it looks like. So a person has just said, hey, I agree, I definitely am into this. I want to join your mailing list, and they click the button and it brings them here. And it basically says, look, you're all signed up. You should receive an email shortly with the details for downloading your ebooks. Be sure to click your spam promotion folder in case you don't see the email within 15 minutes. So in other words, we're kind of also educating them a little bit to say, hey, if you don't get the email, you should have, so it's probably in your spam folder. And then it says, while you're waiting, why not take advantage of this nearly whatever, or your 50% off, 40% off, whatever it is, and start building your collection. Then show an image of what they're getting. Then offer a link, and this should be a link also. Don't always make your images links. This should also be a link. And then give them, again, a little bit more information, not too much, and then talk a little bit about what reviewers are saying. And again, don't put your picture here. Don't put your face all over. Nobody cares what you look like. Nobody cares about you. Don't try to sell yourself too hard here. You're trying to sell a deal of something here, okay? For example, when you walk into McDonald's, the idea is that you bought a burger.
Where did McDonald's come from?
You'll see. Because the Tripwire page is also called a do you want fries with that page.
Yeah.
So you walk into McDonald's, you say, I'll have a cheeseburger and a Coke. And they say, do you want fries with that? Now, think about that. You say, yeah, or they say, do you want to upsize that? That's what the big, movie was about and everything else. And you yes, I do.
Yeah,
right? I can't help it. I must, right? But here's the thing. You don't care what the guy looks like who invented the French fry, right? You want the French fries. So again, you don't need to put your face here. You don't need to try to sell this any more than the fact that you're giving a good deal. And you tell them what that, and you let other people sell it for you with the stars, what reviewers are saying. Make it very simple, very straightforward. You don't want to say more than you need to, because when you say more than you need to, like I'm doing right now, you have a tendency of losing the sale. And this has always been the situation, which, frankly, if we take a quick peek here at my home page, you'll see that a lot of people will have, instead of just something straightforward like this with the get my free books and all that kind of stuff, instead they'll have like this picture of the book and a whole bunch of this text going all the way down here, and then a picture of themselves and all about that person and everything. Nobody cares. Get my free books. I want to click this button and I want to have this pop up, and then I type in my email address and get my free books. That's what I want. So
no friction. Just go straight to guide them to where you want to go.
Absolutely. Marketing 101.
I want to make a different analogy, just because I can hear people saying, you're talking about McDonald's with my book that I spent, months or years on.
I think only you're saying that, but okay, go ahead.
No, I mean, come on. That leaves
Everybody respond who agrees with Ben.
greasy French fry taste in my mouth that I
I
gotta.
love greasy French fries. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
go get some after this.
Yeah, I know. I'm really hungry now. So it's also like the impulse buy that you get at Barnes and Noble. So you go up to the the cash register and you see that there's one of those books that you've heard all about, and it's
Yep.
only $6.95, and it's perfectly affordable. And hey, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, add that to the pile.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
a
a
good point.
better analogy than would you like to supersize it?
I disagree, but that's cool. The point is, the idea here is this: is that you've already come in and you've quote purchased something. You've given me
Yep.
your email address and so on. And so now, before you leave, right before you exit the door, oh, would you like? And you go,
Another
you know,
book.
yeah, that's fine if that's what makes you
French
happy.
fried book.
If that's what makes you happy, fries with that. And so essentially, you get it for a specific amount off. When the person clicks on this, open up a new tab. Bring them down to this. You can open in the same tab if you want to, but remember, when you do that, if you open it up over this tab, the person, once they buy it, they do whatever they want, they close this, they're still going to see your page, which means they might go, oh, well, let me look at the rest of the books that this person has to offer, and so on. And so you never know. So again, try to open that in a new tab.
Yeah. And how do you do that? How do you make sure it opens in a new tab?
Well, it depends on what you're building with. If you're using WordPress, it actually is usually just an option to say open in a new tab, depending on the theme you're using. But you can also, if you're doing HTML, then you have to set a target. And do you really want to go there? It's target equals quote underline blank quote.
Yeah.
There you go.
I remember.
Okay.
Some basic HTML. If you want to Google it, you would probably just Google HTML for opening opening new tab, or
Okay.
targeting new tab, right?
Yep.
Something like that.
Am I back?
Yeah. Looks like it.
What do you mean?
Shoot, there was one more question. Oh well. Okay, keep going.
So I want to talk about what this has done for me
Now you
personally.
are actually frozen.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
And you're frozen at like the best spot. I'm printing this screen.
Well, I actually see myself recording up here, so
Okay.
yeah. So anyway.
Oh, there you're back. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so I want to talk about what this Tripwire page has done for me, and
1 second. Sorry, I remember. Sorry.
No problem.
You said 70% off on that deal.
Mm-hmm.
What is that based on? Because all you did was send me to Amazon. You're just saying that bundle of books would usually cost 70% more if you bought them individually?
If you bought them individually,
Gotcha.
basically you total up the individual cost.
Yep.
You find out the highest price you can do is $9.99. Otherwise, you're going to get back down to 30% on Amazon. We don't want that.
Yeah.
And so then you total up your cost and you figure out what the difference is between that and $9.99 to determine your percentage, and that's it. So yeah, it used to actually be only like 50%, but I charge more now for the individual books, and that makes the deal sweeter. But also, I get more money for the individual books when people don't want to buy the deal, so that's cool too.
Yeah.
So it works out.
That works.
Yeah. So
What's it done for you, John?
let me explain what it's done for me, Ben. So actually, I went back to my original ad, the one that got me the 4,000 in a few months or something, 4,000 signups in a few months.
Famous ad.
The famous ad. I went back to it, and maybe I should show that famous ad. What do you think?
Yeah, let's try it. I'm feeling brave.
Yeah, I'm feeling stupid, but yeah, that's the same thing. It's going to take me just a second. So ask questions while I'm doing this.
Who's Ezekiel Merritt?
I have no idea. It's not a. It's not a. I don't know what the hell it is, to be honest with you. It just looks. It was cool.
It's very cool. Very North Carolinian. Why isn't your wall green?
My wall. That's a good question, Ben.
Thank you.
See, you're starting to catch up. So essentially, my wall
Used to be green.
used to be green because I was using it as a green screen. But then I got that, for anybody who has followed this, which so hey Jackson. But anyway, it's basically I now have a stand where I can put this there, and I also had the black wall that was a chalk wall and everything else, but it was just dark. And what happened was it was really hot in this room because I do a lot of recording and stuff. And so I'd have the door shut and it gets kind of hot in here and the sun comes right in this window. It's brutal. So everything was fine except for it started getting hotter and hotter. And so I went and I put the film on the window to block the sun somewhat. Okay. And it drops at like, I don't know, 80% or something. Anyway, it cooled off in here, but it was so dark because, you know, it's blocking a lot of that light. So I basically repainted this and it's brighter during the day, which is really nice. Okay, so let me share this again.
And now you do green screen with that screen that you bought?
Correct.
I see.
Yeah, all right, so I'm going to share my screen again. Watch it. This time it won't work, you know, because that's just the way it is. You seeing it?
You've shown up. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Wow,
yep.
Rock and roll. Okay.
There it is, the famous ad.
The famous ad. So this ad, I basically started anew. This is something you probably didn't know. I had originally set up my ads account, I don't know, 2 years ago or something like that. I used it like one time for the Relic, actually. I had no idea what I was doing. But the default time zone was the West Coast, which really sucked.
They like doing that to us.
Anyway, so I ended up dealing with that up until about a month and a half ago. And then finally I just said, you know what? I don't care. I know I'm losing social proof. I know I just can't stand this anymore. I have to fix this. So I basically bit the bullet, fixed it, and so now I'm on the East Coast. Yay. So I started this over again and just started it on the 3rd of June, I think. Yeah. And I've added... I think it was like 270 some, but I have the data from yesterday, but I've added another 50 people today, actually, through to the newsletter. But this is the ad, and it's very simple. If you notice, it does not have a ton of stuff in here. It basically just says, you know, who I am, sold thousands of books, blah, blah, blah. Strictly limited time, get 3 of the books, 2 with audiobooks included for free. And then I say, as much fun as, and I compare to other authors. You be the judge for your free books. Just hit sign up. Notice it doesn't say click, because if you're on a phone, you don't click, you hit, right? So basically there's that. And you notice also it doesn't have like...
Thumbing. It's thumbing.
Thumbing, okay. It doesn't have tons and tons of information and all that kind of stuff. It's just got this...
Yeah, simple.
This is the picture that drags everybody in. And then, of course, they see this, and they go, huh, like that, and then...
Yeah. And some of them go, screw you, man.
Oh, yeah, I get that. But I also get a lot of people saying, dude, that's awesome. Right here, for example.
Like Douglas Adams.
Right here, for example. Brilliant books, really made me laugh, particularly the Platoon F series, hoping there's a new one in the pipeline, and what's, you know, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, and actually I'm going to go through and of course hide these people's names and stuff in the actual video because that's not very nice to have them there. So anyway, so the person clicks from here, they go to my site, they show up here, here it is, and you notice it also has the picture of the dude here. That was in the ad.
That cost you 34 cents. So your Tripwire page. You
don't get charged for your own clicks.
Oh, you don't? I didn't know that.
Well, as far as I know, I've never seen that. But yeah, okay. So now I have to go buy my bundle so I get paid back. Anyway, so anyway, it brings you here and notice that it has the same picture of the dude. Now, I used to sell the book that actually, or I gave away the book that used to have this, but I don't anymore. So I just have these 3 books in here. And it hasn't really hurt me at all. I've not noticed anything. It did hurt because I only had a black background. So then I put this guy in here, which matches this guy right here. And once I did that, then it started going back up again. So that is something to keep in mind.
Amazing. Consistency and visuals.
Absolutely important. So make sure that you do that. Okay, so now I'm going to come back to here. Hi.
Hello.
All right. So
what happens? Get into the somebody hits that and then they go off and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to give this book a shot. But how much can that really convert?
Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk about. So I'm taking the data from June 3rd, June 19. It's over here, by the way. That's why I'm looking at okay, so from June 3rd to June 19, I added 224 people to the newsletter.
Nice. Just from the Facebook ad?
Yes.
Okay, 224.
Yes, and I know that because of how I track my adding to MailChimp. And that can be found on the Author Helper. If you build a website through there, you can see what I do. And so that ran me $158.30.
For 234 signups, okay.
And my Tripwire sales, I did not include today's in there, was 39 sales out of 224 signups.
Okay, so wow, what do you have the percentage conversion on that? What that is? Me neither.
I can find out. Hold on.
Yeah.
We have this thing called a calculator.
Percentage calculator.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it that way, but
I am. I would.
17.4%.
Jeez.
So anyway, but let's look at it in real dollars. So it cost me $158.38 to get 224 people to sign up.
Yep.
From those people signing up, those who bought the Tripwire ended up making me $259.74. Plus,
wow, okay.
Plus, in the UK, I got $20.02 for affiliate. And in the US, I got $7.02 for affiliate, which means my total income for me adding people in, well, the total income was $286.78.
With affiliate.
With affiliate. So my net income that I made for adding 224 people to my list was $128.48, which means that for each person I add, I'm making 57 cents.
Wow.
So I'm making 57 cents to add people to my list. So this is what, we talked a little while about culling your list and saying, oh, but all that money you're losing. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I might be losing some, actually, if you think about it. I mean, let's say that you add 1,000 people, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say that you're adding those people at 50 cents a piece because you're doing the Tripwire and it's really working well for you. And you have to tweak it too, by the way. It's not just like anything. It's not a magic bullet. You got to work on it.
Man, I don't want to tweak. I just want it to work.
Exactly. So let's say you're making 50 cents on that, okay, on each person that signs up. But then, and let's say you get 1,000 total people and then you just stopped. All right. Let's just say you just stopped at 1,000 people and you said, okay, that's it. And then 3 months from now, you're going, man, only like 250 of these people are actually really engaged. The other 750, nothing. They're nothing. And you think maybe give or take, but let's just say that, right? Well, at 50 cents a person, right? You're thinking to yourself, if I lose that, I'm going to start losing money on these people. Yes and no.
Why no?
No, well, you are in a way because of the advertisement, but the 250 people that you did add, they're still buying your stuff.
It's a lifelong, lifetime.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point here. We're trying to get people who are with us for our entire careers.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's worth, each person is worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
It's true. It's absolutely true. So even if you don't have a Tripwire page and you have 1,000 people and 750 of them get knocked out, those 250 were worth it.
Yeah.
It's hard to see that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see that, and I know.
No, it's worth it. It makes sense. It makes sense. It is hard though because you feel the currency is love, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's like, oh wow, they gave me their email. They love me. Here's a picture of me, and here's
unsubscribe.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's all a heart thing.
Yeah.
And that's just no good. It's when you're trying to take care of a list and not go broke with useless. And you're paying for these people. If you have a MailChimp, if any of them, they all charge at least $10 a month if you want to automate your email newsletters.
That's right.
So at least $10 a month. You got to make it work for you.
Exactly. And how I see this is this not only pays for my MailChimp account.
Yeah.
But it also puts extra money in to pay for advertising for the next round.
Yeah.
And the next round, and the next round, and so on. So the bottom line is, even if you don't have a Tripwire page yet, and you're like, oh, boy, I got to get this book bundle done, it's another reason to do that. If you're seeing a good conversion rate to getting people to sign up to your newsletter, and you don't have a Tripwire page, you really should. Mm-hmm. I heard this from Mark Dawson and Nick Stevenson. They were having a podcast together, and I heard about this. And literally, I'm on the phone with them. I'm listening to the podcast with them, and I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. I immediately started creating this page. By the time that podcast was done, I had my page up and running. And it didn't look great, but I didn't care. I had to get that thing up and running.
It had a picture of you at the top.
Yeah, exactly. And so I had to get that running, and I got it running really quickly, and I hooked up the links. I didn't have any tracking at first. I got to get this done. And so I did that, and then I just tested a couple times. Okay, this looks good. And then I ran through the process. It looked good. And then immediately created the affiliate thing, which I should have done first. And yes, you do need an affiliate because you want to make sure this is working for you, right? Now, here's the thing.
What do you mean by set up an affiliate?
An affiliate ID on Amazon.
Amazon. So that means go on Amazon. What is it called? What's affiliates.amazon.com or something like that? Yeah, something like that. And signing up for an account, and you assign your own affiliate codes depending on how you want to track them. And anytime you send anybody to Amazon with that code embedded in the link, you get a percentage of the sales from that session,
right?
Whether it's your book or somebody else's book or pantyhose or cowboy boots or whatever it is.
Right, and it's for 24 hours. So if a person clicks right now, then and they go to your page, even if they don't buy your book, they're like, well, I'm here. I needed to buy, in Ben's case, some pantyhose. So he goes out and buys like 40, 50 pairs, red light district. Anyway, and he you end up making money off of that. And what's really interesting is the fact that you can literally see what people are buying.
Yeah, I know.
and you don't see who it is, you don't see their names, anything else, but you can sit there and kind of go,
yeah.
Now this is interesting information because it also tells you a little bit about your demographic.
Exactly.
Right? I'm like trying to sell like Platoon F, and I'm like, maybe I should do an ad with whips and chains excite me. I don't know.
I've seen some funny things come through also. It's amazing what Amazon sells. There's stuff that, like, what? Where are they hiding that?
Yeah.
Well, this is a family podcast. So.
Yeah, well, not only that, you sell kids' books. That makes it really weird. But anyway, so it's affiliate-program.amazon.com. Affiliate-program.amazon.com. And I think for the UK, it's the same thing. It's affiliate-program.amazon.co.uk, which is just your standard thingamahooey.
Okay, brothers and sisters.
But here's the thing. Get your affiliate code, and even if you're, you say, yeah, but I'm in a state where it doesn't matter. It does matter. And the reason why, because they won't pay you. Amazon says, I'm not going to pay you. I don't know if you're allowed to still sign up. You might be able to, and it just tracks. But even if I don't know if that's possible, so don't quote me on this. But if anybody out there does know this, please reply in the comments. But the idea is this: you're using that code to find out if something is working.
Yeah.
That's really what the benefit is you might make 10, 15, 20 bucks also, which is yay, right? But even if you make zero on that because you're in some state that's not supported or whatever, then still at least use it for tracking if possible, right? Because just because I see a person click on my ad, I can see that, right? In Facebook, it says, 50 people clicked on your ad today, right? And then I say, okay, that's great. And then I go over to my, I can have a pixel that says they finished and everything else. But for my Tripwire page, I don't know, what happened from there.
Is a black box, except
you don't know.
With affiliate links.
With an affiliate link.
That's where you can crack open the box a little bit and see inside how people are moving around and what they're doing on Amazon. You can get some definite evidence in the page, in the conversion.
Yep.
And you can sometimes see some affiliate activity that is interesting, to your point.
Yep. And then I want to just point out, in my heyday, when I was really pushing, which I'm starting to do again, but I kind of took a back seat to that because of the stuff that you and I are working on, but I've been pushing this again. The day that I was, signing up tons and tons of people and everything else, and I was putting in a couple $100 a day every now and then because it was working, right? I think oh boy, I wish I could pull up these numbers. I don't remember them off the top of my head. So this is pulling a number out of my butt, okay? But I know it was around $200 that I made on the Tripwire page.
Yeah.
And that's made.
Yeah. No, I remember. I think that's right.
It was like $200 or $300. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is that a Tripwire page, if you have a book bundle, it's not hard to do. Create a page like that. You saw what I did. Very straightforward, very simple to do. I'll put the link in there so you can click it and go, do whatever you want from there. Set up an affiliate ID.
Yep.
Make sure that you do that so you can track, is it actually converting for you? But even if it's not, don't take it out.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't hurt to have it there.
Yeah.
And if a person does buy it, even if only one person buys it a month, it's a sale.
Yeah.
And if it's not like it's getting in the way, it's not hurting anything. That you might go, why isn't it selling, and tweak? Okay, that's always a good idea, right?
Sure,
yeah. And you might have noticed something when I clicked the link and I brought you to the page. People have asked me, actually just recently, a guy asked me this. He said, I saw that there were only 10 reviews on that book bundle in the U.S. And I'm like, yeah, but it's supposed to have like 50 or 100 reviews before people buy it. Not true.
Not true.
I've got over 10,000 sales of that book bundle in just the last 6-7 months to prove that's not true.
Yeah.
You do not need to have all that. Yes, it helps. But look, I was selling 10 a day of that thing through the Tripwire page with 0 reviews.
Yeah.
I had none, and it was selling just fine. So that is not imperative to have that. Yes, it helps, obviously, but it's not imperative. What's more interesting is how much value are they perceiving to get, and so on. Oh, and here's another idea for you. A couple of days after you send out, an email to them and everything else that says, here are your books and everything else, check in with them and say, hey, what did you think of such and such, blah, blah, blah. If you like those books, hey, again, that deal is still there. Click here. Takes you back to the Tripwire page, so that way you can have the click from the Tripwire page so you can track it, because that's a no-no to send affiliate codes in your newsletter. Amazon's like,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So have that link go to your Tripwire page, and then they'll see it again, and then they go, right?
Yeah.
So again,
that's a great idea.
Just something to keep in mind when doing this. So, any additional questions on that? I know I was rambling like hell.
No. Yeah, don't paint any pictures for me. No, that's some interesting stuff. I think the amount of money you're talking about is definitely something that is a bit, maybe pie in the sky. It's certainly something to shoot for. I think what came to mind for me is that you're in a genre that, I think for the reviews part, that might not be as important. I think there are some genres where it is, certainly with the kids, middle grade stuff, people want to see that this is appropriate. But I think, I'm not saying that the people who read your books are less likely to review or less likely to be impacted by reviews, but clearly you were doing everything right. You knew your audience well enough to do the right ad with the right imagery, the right copy. You got to the point. You had the right landing page with the right copy and the right imagery, and you simply sent them off to this page that had a great deal, and they convert well. And I think that's really the lesson here. It's like, reviews or no reviews, whatever, that's separate. If you create a compelling offer and you package it in a compelling, no friction, right to the point kind of way that's consistent visually across the entire experience, and that actually delivers value at the end of it, you're golden.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That's so that gets me inspired. I'm thinking maybe I'll set one up for the Shirley Link box set.
Yeah, it can't hurt. And again, even if it doesn't churn hundreds and hundreds of sales, if it gives you one extra sale a month, it's a sale. I mean, anyhow, but I know we harp on this a lot, and I think we have to harp on it one more time because, a new grouping of people have come into the self-publishing formula Facebook ads program for Mark Dawson, and I see similar questions. I see similar, how come this isn't working and everything else. And if you're watching this, look, you have to get out of the way of the work. And I know that a lot of people feel, I got to put my face up there, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. It's great to have your bio up there. That's cool, down at the bottom. It does not need to be right in the way. It does not need to be the big thing. This is not about you yet. It's about your work. It's about, do I really care about you yet? No, I don't want to invest my time in you because I don't know if I'm going to like your stuff. So let me read your stuff. And if I like what I read, I'm going to come back to you.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to want to engage with you and learn more about you. Also, in the follow-up emails that you send to me. I'm going to see your personality. And even if your books I just thought were okay, they weren't fantastic, but they weren't bad. They were just okay. But your emails are engaging, and I find them entertaining, and I find them interesting to me, right? Then I'm going to say, okay, I want to know more about you now, right?
Yeah.
That's where you can do that.
Yeah.
And then, at that point, if you're, 10 emails in and you want to start sending pictures of yourself and, here's me working at my desk, all this kind of stuff, right? Great at that point. But when a person comes to the page, I see this a lot. A person comes to your page from an ad. First off, they may add, I'm fantastic, I'm this, I'm that. Here's a quote, here's a quote, here's a quote. It's too much information.
Yeah.
Give me a quick ad, a quick image that just makes me go, I'm scrolling. Oh, what's that? Right? I stop and I look at that. The first thing I'm going to do is my eye is going to go right under it at the big print. As much fun as, or as compelling as thrilling as, and find authors that fit that. Don't be afraid to do it. You're going to get a lot of flack for it, but don't be afraid to do it. You be the judge. Hit here for your free books. Sign up button. Above, now they're going to go like this, then they're going to look above. Very clear, very concise, just your name, author, blah, blah, is an up-and-coming in the world of thrillers. Blah, 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 3 books.
Not too much blah, blah.
Yeah,
but
exactly, blah, 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 3 books for free. Done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then at that point, if a person clicks, and then they come to your page, this is what I want you to think about. You're looking at that zombie image, right? They come to your page, and they see,
Yeah.
they don't care, right?
Dog.
Yeah, hold on. They're like, this happened and that happened, and I'm cool and everything else. And then I decided to write, hey, you've lost me.
Yeah.
I don't care,
Yeah.
right?
Show the same image.
The image is what brought me here. The comparison is what brought me here. That's what brought me here. So get out of the way. Let me click a button, get my stuff, and then when I get it, I'm going to look at it and go, all right, let me read it. So, that night I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And then I find myself, wow, I finished that whole thing. This was a great book. I'm going to go back and learn more about you. Now you've got me.
Yeah, that's where you can
Yes.
that's where you can introduce yourself and
Yes.
have a path for them to get to know you and your brand and
Yes.
who you are as an author.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's a step. It's it is a sales process,
Yes.
and a very, very challenging branding exercise.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, that's what we have to do to succeed, to compete. And those are the areas where you need to stand out, because there are a lot of people doing advertisements right now. There are a lot of authors trying to brand themselves in a certain way, and so you have to stay true to yourself, figure out what your brand is, and everything you talked about tonight. That's a really solid start, to somebody making some good money off of Tripwire pages, getting signups. So we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we did. And I'll tell you, I actually, one of the student of mine, I'm actually thinking about asking him to come onto the show at some point in a couple of weeks maybe, because essentially he was the first student that I ever had who actually just said, just tell me and I will go do it.
Cool.
And he questioned, but he didn't say, it wasn't like, well, why would I want to do that? It wasn't that. It was just like, help me understand. And I explained. He goes, okay, that makes sense. And then he went and did. Changed the persona, changed the whole deal. And
I know who you're talking about.
yeah, and went for, I think he just literally started doing the Facebook ads, which I sent him to Mark's free Facebook ads, and I said, watch this, and then I'm going to help you set them up. So he did that, and it was January 1st or right around the 30th of December, something like that. And since then, he's added 1,800 subscribers. He's got 20 people or 19 people, something like that, in his launch team. He's making money every day. He's got ads every day. He's the whole deal. His entire setup has been altered, and he now is like, I get this. And now he's like churning out books as fast as he can.
That's
and
cool.
because he's like, I understand this now, and he's set up his Tripwire page, and he's doing all the stuff. And it was just like, what do you want me to do next? And then I said, it's time for you to swim. Goodbye. At this point, you have to go. Exactly. Grasshopper. Which is funny because he's actually a sensei.
That's great.
Yeah. So I'll actually ask him to join us.
I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, his name is Orlando Sanchez, and he writes a pretty cool fantasy series that's based a lot on martial arts and mysticism and stuff like that. It's pretty neat. So anyway,
All right.
so I will do that. But great.
Good one, man. Thank you for sharing. You've inspired me. I want to go make this Tripwire page.
Rock and roll. Surprised you haven't done this years
chat.
ago.
What's that?
Surprised you haven't done it years ago. I've been talking about it forever.
I know. Well,
See what I deal with, people? See what I deal with here?
Well, you know what I did? I tried it with a single book.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's what I did, and it was hard.
Yeah.
Now I have a box set, so I
That's
can
awesome. Yeah,
give it a shot.
absolutely. All right. Well, it was fun. And it was real. Again, I'm not sure if we're going to be here next week because next week we will be here. It's the following week that we'll be out because it's a holiday here in the U.S. Okay. So next week we'll still be here. I'll ask Orlando if he can come next week.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll see. All right. Adios.
Later.
See ya.
Thank you for joining us on this episode. And remember, you should be writing.